Hello, it's Adam Morrison. When it comes to top-tier contracting, my go-to choice is McGillivray Environmental. I know a thing or two about excellence, and that's exactly what you'll find with Kip McGillivray and his team. They're not just any contractor, they're the best in Spokane and North Idaho. From start to finish, they ensure your project is completed with the highest quality results. With years of experience and expertise, they handle it all. New construction, meticulous repairs, asphalt paving for residential and commercial properties, excavation, and even environmental remediation. So why wait? Reach out to Kip McGillivray Environmental today by calling 208-556-6384 for your free estimate. Don't forget to mention my name, Adam Morrison, and experience the difference McGillivray Environmental brings to the table. Again, that's 208-556-6384, McGillivray Environmental. My number one choice for all my contracting needs. M4 CPA is a family-owned accounting firm passionate about helping businesses and their owners create a secure future for their families. They pride themselves on the quality of their work and put their clients first, ensuring they get the attention and care they deserve. Their mission is to provide exceptional accounting services to help you achieve your financial goals. M4 CPA is all about building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and transparency. With a team of experienced professionals, they offer personalized solutions to meet your needs. If you're a Perimeter listener, here's an exclusive offer for you. Mention the Perimeter podcast when you reach out to M4 CPA and get a free business consultation to assess your financial strategies. So, if you're looking for an accounting firm that truly cares about your business, trust M4 CPA. Accounting you can trust with a personal touch. Learn more at m4cpa.com.
It's time for Home Team Rewards. Zag fans, get your Bulldog branded ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card, the only card where you can earn rewards for everyday purchases while giving back to Gonzaga University. Choose from a Visa Rewards card with a lower rate or a Premier Rewards card with maximum rewards. With no annual fees, card control, and next-level security, you can spend smart from tap to app. Zags, rejoice! Find your card at iccu.com/GoZags on approved credit.
Welcome to the Perimeter, Season 5, Episode 19, presented by McGillivray Environmental, Idaho Central Credit Union, M4 CPA. Going to go over the Pacific game. Closer than I think some people expected. We knew it was going to be a closer game. And then talk about the last WCC regular season game at home against Portland, senior night, kind of a revenge game. And then we got St. Mary's at home. So a lot to look forward to. Gonzaga in firm first place. If we beat Portland, we clinch first place, the regular season title, no matter what.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to play for. Obviously, excuse me, the one-off game that we lost to them down there, so it's going to give us a little bit more motivation, I think. And then, to have a game that still means something, but at St. Mary's, where if you lost, it's not going to affect your seating in the West Coast Conference. Will be nice, but also that's another quad one chance to play at their place. So it has some ramifications seating wise for the NCAA tournament. So really looking forward to the game coming up against Portland. First, go over the Pacific game. Halftime, it was tied at 29. I thought their defensive plan was terrific. Pre-game, Huddy and I were talking about their +9 on the glass. They shot like 38% from three, if my memory serves, and then had a pretty good assist to turnover ratio. So you're like, hey man, for being 18-12 or 17-12, but 8-8 in the conference, like this is a team that's like Coach Smart is doing the right things, taking the right steps. And you could see it right away. They were super athletic. Everything had a purpose. They were doing they weren't double teaming unless it was like late in certain situations, but they were just really clogging the lane. So Graham couldn't kind of operate, and he really struggled in the first half.
Yeah.
Went 2 for 9. We shot 11 for 30. Not great. That's 37%. 2 for 9 from 3. That's 22%. And then 5 for 11 from the free throw line. -5 on the glass as well. Only 3 assists, 2 turnovers. So just defensively, I thought Pacific was terrific. Now Pacific, we forced 11 turnovers, and I was saying at the break, I was like,
if we don't force those turnovers and kind of get them off rhythm a little bit, offensively, they could have been up by 10, right? If you're Pacific, you're sitting there, you're going into halftime like, obviously you're excited to be within the game. We're a much better team than them, but it's like, hey guys, like if we can clean up the throwing it all over the yard, we could be leading this team. So we talked about it on the show, and then I talked about it in my pregame. It was like, this is not the Pacific of the past or whatever, but like they always give us problems. In years past, there's always a one-off game where you play them down there or up here, and it's just always like, what? Like they're not very good, quote unquote, and then they just always play a different style. So I was just really impressed with their defensive effort. It wasn't a thing where we weren't focused or anything like that. They just had a good plan. So we go into halftime, obviously tied. Then we get into the second half and just kind of will our way to a victory. It was kind of just like a saw wood, mini runs. We shot it better, 50%, 13 of 26 in the second half, 3 of 10 from 3. That's not great. 13 of 18 from the free throw line, a little bit better. We clean up the glass a little bit. We win the glass a little bit in the second half, so we get to -4. But 5 of 19 from 3 overall. We shoot 42% overall as a team. So it wasn't an aesthetically pleasing game. We only had 7 assists to 4 turnovers, so we took care of the ball. They had 15 turnovers, so they did a better job, but overall not great.
Yeah.
And we hold them to 47%. They shoot it all right from 3 at 38%. So like I said, if you're the coaching staff, you're like, man, we legitimately had a chance to kind of steal this game. But Graham turned it up in the second half. He ended up having 20 on 8 of 21, but he was 0 for 6 from 3, so kind of regressed back to the mean from beyond the arc, even though he shot it well this season. Davis was the bright spot offensively, 4 or 5, 18 points, 9 to 12 from the free throw line. Tyon was solid with 10 points, and then Inocente's been on a heater, man.
Yeah.
He had 13 again. 4 rebounds, 4 6. So the last of those, I think 4 games, he's scored over 10 points a game, something like that, right? So he had 16. Yeah. So the last 4 games, he's given us double figures, playing a ton of minutes. I think he's earned them. Plus minus was +9. But Davis, I kept saying it on the on the broadcast. I don't know if you listened, but I was like, let's run actions to him. He's the only guy that can get like a shot off in consistent rhythm. Mario didn't play good, 1 for 7. He had some popcorn out. I thought Braden Smith did all right off the bench. Again, you look at his numbers and it's not going to pop out at you, but like he's been kind of in the flirting with the DNP status.
Yeah.
Right. And then he gets called on and he plays a ton of minutes because Mario wasn't playing well. He plays 15 minutes, Braden Smith, and did what he was supposed to do. So hats off to him, because it's harder said than done, right? Or easier said than done, right? When you're sitting there, then they're like, hey, go bail us out, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like hats off to him and but it was kind of just an ugly game. But again, I don't usually, there's times when I'm wrong, or the Portland first game was wrong.
Right.
We're gonna beat the shit out of them, right? But
yeah,
this was a good Pacific team, and we know Zach, guy does the radio. We always have beers with him. He's a good dude, and we saw him. I think we were in L.A. because they were coming through. They were playing LMU and we were playing Pepperdine, whatever the deal. So when I had beers, and he's like, "No, we're actually good this year." And he's not bullshit. He's like, "No, we're tough. Like we can win games." You know what I mean? He's like, we struggled to score a little bit, but he's like, we're in every game because of our defense and our rebounding. He was right. So like going into the game, we looked at the numbers, Huddy and I, and we were like, this is not gonna be walk in the park type deal, and we were exactly right. So it's a good win for us. It's nice that we only had to play them once, honestly.
Yeah.
Be curious to see if they finish 4th. They still have a big game coming up against San Francisco. So a lot of those teams are playing for the top 4. Only has to play. I think you get that Sunday night game. You don't have to play Saturday. And then also too, you want to be on what side of the bracket? Do you want to be on Santa Clara's or St. Mary's, or do you want to play on Gonzaga's side? So there's still a lot to play for some of these teams right in the meat of the conference. So it'll be interesting to see how they finish out, but they're going to be a tough out for anybody. But again, with Braden Huff being out, I know it's been a month and a half. Not every game is going to be smooth, and it was nice to see Graham play through, kind of poor play and still get to his numbers. I've said that a million times, especially if you listen. It's like when you're the best player and the best scorer, even if you have an off game, you have to figure out a way to get to your numbers without shooting your team out of the game. And he did that. Like it looks deceiving, 8 of 21, but he had a good stretch in the second half where he was consistent and made,
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you got to 20. That's 9 games in a row. By the way.
And when it mattered the most, like he had like, I don't know how many points he had in the last 5 minutes, but he had
probably like 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that. Yes, exactly.
Because we were like, he's probably not going to get to 20, and he was on that streak of 20-point games, and even saw him make a little gesture when he got to 20. He was like, you could tell that was on his radar. Like he wanted to keep that streak going.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool streak because there's not a lot. Records at Gonzaga are tough to come by, right? There's just so many good players and things of that nature. So congrats to him. But like I said, I thought Davis Fogel was the best player in that game.
Yeah,
just showed his versatility. Was under control. He gets 18 points on only 5 shots. I was clamoring him like I'd be running DHOs and wide pin downs for him. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if as the year. I mean, we only got 2 games left. But if they start incorporating, like, we need to get him like 10 shots a game. You know what I mean? Like, just he needs to get, because he has a chance to get hot too. He's one of those kids that can score in bunches. He's so versatile. He's so long. Like I've said it a million times, and it's not to put pressure on the kid, but he's going to be a pro. Like, it just either next year or the year after. I don't think he's ready this year. You know what I mean? But he's going to be. You just look at his frame, his skill set. He obviously everything will get tighter. But he fits like a NBA 2-3 mold. Like if you just look at,
he really does.
He just does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's what they look like, and that's how they play, and that's how versatile they are, and just the simple skill set that's a lot of guys don't have, like fadeaways. You know what I mean? Like, how did he score that? Like, that's an NBA player. So he was terrific. But overall, good win. I mean, you got to take him out and get him. Like, not everything's going to be pretty. I know some fans bitch and moan about that. It's like, dude, we can't.
What was specifically doing against Graham Ike to make him comfortable down low?
Yeah, it was really smart, and it's a pretty simple game plan. I like using it when I coach too. It's just called like digging in the post. So like once the post catches it, you're not fully turning to go double team, and you're not allowing them to kind of see the floor right away, and because good teams will have a cut package based off a double team, like just okay, if double comes from the top, green, black, red, that's how we always defined our double teams, which side it was coming from, big to big. All the blues big to big, reds usually from the same side, or greens from the same side. Red was I think from the bottom, and I think black was from one of the two. I'm missing one of them up anyway. Then you'd have your cut package to counter it. Okay, if they go this way, you cut from the weak side, then you fill, and that's what you take what they give you, and then you rep it. So what they were doing was they were just staying. It's like a dig. You just stay like in the gap, but you're like 2 feet away from the post guy, but you're not leaving your man. So he feels really uncomfortable putting the ball down.
Yeah,
and then you can tell your guys, okay, if he puts it down and you think you can get it, you got to go full force dive bomb it, like we call it rake. And you go rake the shit out of his hands. A lot of refs don't call it. You just go bam and go grab it, 2 hands. But then if you go, we need to know so we're in a full rotation. They were just in the gaps, and we're going, okay, put it down, and it's just a really uncomfortable feeling when there's all those hands and pressure. And then they loaded up on the weak side, and they took away that normal cut. Like Worley's good at it, but they didn't really like double hard. And so the point is, what I'm saying is, us not. I mean, I'm not lying here, not being a great 3-point shooting team. You could still help, and then if they kick it out and you're still late, you can get a late contest, and they probably will miss it.
Yeah, well, that's what they were. Seems like they were good with letting Graham shoot from outside.
And then they pushed him off the block.
Yeah,
I think some of it too. He was falling in love with the jumpers too much, and he'll get back and he'll reevaluate that. Just scoring a little bit easier, but. I'm a big fan of guarding 2. You know what I mean? You can guard 2 and then get out and close out. And if they hit contested threes in your face all night. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think double teaming is fantastic if you have the right personnel, but sometimes you're asking your guys to cover so much floor that it is like you're like literally leaving yourself at a disadvantage. And like Graham, Braden, especially, like they're obviously super tall, but they train them to pass good out of it. It's not the olden days where they're when your bigs were bumbling idiots and couldn't handle the ball.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. Those days are kind of over.
Yes. Yeah.
And so like sometimes you're doubling, like, well, thanks, and then all your other guys are going to get either wide open threes or going to go in against the closeout. So Pacific just had a good game plan, really physical with them. That the kid from used to play at UW, and then the Jack, whatever his last name, Jack, number 14. They just both were just pushing him off the block, and so I thought it was a good game plan. They cut hard too. Did you see the one kid's numbers to what was it, Rochlin? He has he has 14 rebounds. And 12 points on 7 field. Like, what a game. He played all 40 minutes, the wing. He was terrific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though the Ralph kid only had 12, you could see where he's averaging 16.
Yeah.
And they just played within themselves. I know that they didn't light the world on fire offensively, but like I said, compared to other Pacific teams, and this is not a knock on the previous regimes, but like, this team plays hard, they cut hard. You could see why they're like kind of a thorn in people's side. And we were lucky enough to understand that going into it. But, good win for us. Going into the Portland game, like I said, Wednesday, senior night, who do we got? It's going to be Graham. So the walk-on guys probably.
We have Graham, I imagine.
Oh, Tyon, yeah.
Tyon. Not Jalen.
No, it was Jalen the senior. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it's gonna be at least 3. Anyway, just three or 4, for sure. And so those are always fun, and we'll see how it goes. But we're gonna be wide-eyed, bushy-tailed for this game against Portland. So again, this is not a jinx. This is not us thinking that we're better than what we are. But I would be highly shocked if the result was the same. That's going to be fun to watch that Foxwell kid again. The little guard from, I think, Australia or New Zealand, one of the two.
Yeah.
He's having a good season, averaging 16, shooting decent from the field. He just run around, play crazy. Just had 2 15-assist games. Might have had one besides that. But they have 4 guys that average double figures. They're much better at home, 11 and 6, 1 of 11 at away. So we'll see how they do and show up against us. But like I said, we will be on full alert against them. So be interesting to see. But again, it's not me. We should win the game.
I mean, this being our last home game in the WCC, like I feel like it's obviously senior night's a big one. I feel like I wouldn't say there's a lot at stake, but but we're locking up the WCC conference too. Like, there's a lot of reasons to go out there and punch Portland in the mouth.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Senior night, and then last home game of the year. Yeah, and then you can win the league, and that's one of the goals that we talked about going into this season. That I guarantee was discussed was like, let's win this league. Last time we're in it, and just remind everybody. So. A great opportunity for our guys to achieve something. I won the league 3 times. I didn't lose at home, and I went undefeated twice. So some of that's, I know they're not going to go undefeated, but it's a cool thing to have on your resume. Yeah. Even though it's not an individual thing, it's more cool. They're like, well, yeah, we won the league, man. So guys are playing for that. And then obviously going into the St. Mary's game, that's going to be curious. Now, if we somehow lose this game, right? Then we're really playing for a lot. But St. Mary's and Santa Clara are going to be battling for that second seed, and we'd have to look back, but it's probably been 4 or 5 years since St. Mary's had to play, a quarterfinal game or whatever, right? Because they're always the top 2, because the top 2s get a bye. So they're playing for something. They've been behind. Santa Clara because they lost, but they have a game at hand. They play each other again.
Yeah, they play on Wednesday.
On Wednesday at St. Mary, so everybody will be keeping an eye on that. Obviously, St. Mary's is terrific. Morauskas is tough. He's averaging 19. The Dent kid is really good. The little point guard from Australia, he's averaging 13. Mikey Lewis is good, averaging 13, but it's the same old St. Mary's. I mean, I could close my eyes and not even tell you who the guys are, and I'll tell you they're going to be tough. They're going to try to out-rebound you. They're going to be really good. Lower possessions, but they're never going to beat themselves, what I'm trying to get to. They're going to take really good shots, and they're going to put you in a million pick and rolls, and your pick and roll coverages has got to be dialed in, and your guards are going to get clipped. And it's a madhouse when you play them at their place. So it's going to be a fun atmosphere. I'm looking forward to it. Last WCC game in a gym, in a gym like that. So we are looking forward to it, but they've been on a heater. They've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Previous to that, they were 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? So this is a good basketball team. Always is. Now the question I have doesn't really account for the game, but if the season ended now, and I already know how I'm gonna. I don't have a vote, but how I'm gonna say is like Graham Ike should win the league MVP, don't you think?
I mean, yes.
Because here's the count. We're going devil's advocate. He's missed 3 games.
3 games.
Morauskas is averaging 19. I think Graham, last I heard, was like 19-9 or something in conference play. So it's tough, right? Because Morauskas has been terrific, but they're in 3rd place right now. I'll be curious to see how the voters take into account the 3 missed games, right? Because it's a real thing, but it's not a big enough chunk for me to negate somebody, because then you ask yourself, okay, what if he did play in those 3 games, but his numbers weren't as good, but his numbers are right behind Morauskas? Well, but he's the best player on the team that's finishing first,
right?
So I don't know, but that'll be something we'll have to look for. Obviously it's not even a bias thing. I think Graham's played the best, but Morauskas is a tough cover. But anyway, going to that game at St. Mary's Walnut Creek is going to be bonkers. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be absolutely nuts, too. And especially, let's say they beat Santa Clara, which they should at home. And then, obviously, we wrap the league up. They're still playing for that tiebreaker, blah, blah, blah. Good luck, right? You know what I mean? So then it's really one of those situations that they're going to be playing their senior night, all those things taken into account. We want to obviously win there. It's going to be like hot and heavy, man. It's going to be fun, but
it's going to be
it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. They're good people down there, and they've done a way better job in years past on their presentation. They serve booze there, so it gets hyped. It's literally like going to like a Whitworth game as far as like just the walk up feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like you walk in, you're like. So there's like one concession stand right there, and then the bathroom is like right next to it, and you have to walk through a crowd of people to get anywhere. Yeah, it's just a college feel, and then it just gets hyped in there, man. They get hyped. So it's cool. I like it.
Well, kind of going into the McGillivray Player of the Week or of the game, since there's one game that we're covering. Is it between Ike and Fogel? Who was your guy?
It was Fogel.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the most efficient, and I think he's just playing at such a high clip right now. And he's such a unique matchup for a lot of WCC players in general. Because he's going to be taller than most of the wings. Yeah, but he's deceptively quick. And then he's got like a really good mid-range game. His 3-point shot is going to get better. Yeah, he made one, but it'll get tighter as time goes on, and so he was terrific. My question about him, and you've talked about this, you kept on talking about this during the broadcast, is like they need to run more actions through Fogel. Yeah, how does that work in this team dynamic? Is it hard to convince the older players to run actions through a freshman? Like, is it just like what, like you kind of ask of the team, like, hey, we need to run these plays through Fogel? I think maybe early in the season it would be just from a lack of familiarity standpoint. But he did have 26 in an inter squad scrimmage, so the guys know he can go. Right. Right. So, and then also too, like, if somebody's gonna be like, well, it's a freshman, like if you're not gonna run the fucking play, then just go ahead and sit down.
Right.
I don't care who I'm calling it to. If I'm going from a standpoint of a coach. So yes, maybe at the start of the year when there's like, well, he hasn't proven anything like that. Not that a guy would say that, be in the back of his mind, but they know he can play.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then like in the heat of a game, like if you're a real competitor, which our guys are, and most former players are, like you're just going to run what the coach tells you.
Right.
I mean, I had similar situations where I averaged I think it was just under 12 my freshman year. I played 19 minutes a game, and we were a really good team, senior laden. But I found a role to come in and kind of score, and I was an X factor. But they used to run actions for me because they'd just be like, all right, Adam's going to come in and he's going to get a 6-minute run. And if he's rolling, we're going to keep rolling. If not, I'd have some bad. I mean, if I look back, I had 2 points at University of Washington. I fouled a guy and Pee-wee got pissed and just sat me. He didn't care. You know what I mean? I was like an X factor.
Yeah.
So yes, the point is like if a guy's rolling, just run actions to him. But I think at the start of the year that question becomes more relevant, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not a bad question. It's just like, right when he hasn't proven anything, that'd be some people's heads, but it's like, no, when he can play, the guys are like, yeah, they're throwing the ball.
Yeah. It seems like Fogel is somewhat of like a volume shooter. Like, is that a thing? Like making sure he gets his shots? Like
Volume in the sense, volume shooter usually goes with guys that have a poor field goal percentage. I don't think he's that. I think he's a guy that needs 10 field goals plus attempts a game.
Yeah.
Just because I think he's a guy that can score in bunches. So doesn't mean you just throw it to him and he goes one-on-one, but I think it's maybe you post him up and maybe he comes off more DHOs or he runs high ball screens himself. Because I just think he's a guy that can score in bunches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to foster that talent. Not saying they're not, but I think as we kind of get going here and teams start looking at the tape, I'm like, it's not just because he had that one good game.
No.
Right? This is the last 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It's been like, and you kind of go like, yeah, like I'd like to have him take more than 5 field goal attempts. I'd like to have him take 8 to 12, and they're usually going to be good shots. And if he wants to shoot a bad one every once in a while, and if he's rolling, okay,
Yeah.
But obviously, few in the staff know how to handle the talent.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion is eventually he's going to get more opportunities.
Yeah. The way I see it is the way I watch this team is as we get closer to the tournament and finding other ways to win because
that's a good point.
we don't have. I mean, there's a chance we might get Braden Huff back. I mean, I would say it's a pretty small chance right now, but we're gonna need to have another X factor, and it kind of seems like he's it now.
Yeah, and you're gonna have a game where, I mean, you're exactly right. Like Graham, like I said, he got to 20, but he didn't play good. So you need somebody else to score, and that was part of that issue with that game the other night is we didn't shoot it again well from 3, 5, and 19. So I just think it makes perfect sense to have him coming off more actions. But also, it's not like he's not getting frozen out. So my point is, like, I think him coming off the actions that he has, it needs to be more score first is what I'm trying to say. He's not getting like, oh, they're just not running anything. It's like, no, he's a part of the flow action, the coming off the DHOs and stuff. But I would like to see him go a little bit more and if he takes a couple shots. I mean, the first one he shot, he airballed it 5 feet to the right.
Yep.
And then he didn't miss a shot the rest of the game.
That's so true.
It was so true. But you're like, that's why he's a great player. He doesn't really give a shit. But it was like he came off and it was like we had the perfect angle. It was like, oh man, that might hit the corner of the backboard. And we've all had. I just. Going off that, my high school coach was cool enough to give me all my high school games on like a terabyte.
Oh, nice.
Like he got somebody to go VHS to things, so it's cool. And anyway, I was watching a game, and I was playing the GSL game, and I think I had 44 or something. But I had 2 shots where I hit the side of the backboard, and I forgot about them. I just I was watching with my son, just like fast forwarding when I get the ball. You know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, cool." And then I was like, hit one. He's like, "What was that?" I'm like, "I don't even remember that," but like. You see, that's my point. Like sometimes you just
kind of
like,
forget about it, right?
Yeah, just literally hit the side of the backboard twice in that game. It was like, oh, okay. Anyway, so happens.
Talking about like the defense of this team, because that was something that I was really impressed with against Pacific, and it started early in the game where against Pacific, and this is our M4 CPA stat of the week. Gonzaga created 5 shot clock violations in the game, and then at the same time, I was tracking how many times did we take Pacific down to like the last second on the shot clock, and that happened 10 times. And I was like, as I was watching it and like seeing how much we were disturbing them and not letting them get to the hoop or take open shots, like it seemed like there wasn't any way they could get the ball to the hoop.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think our perimeter defense is terrific, and it kind of has to be. And Coach Few's alluded to that on numerous occasions when he's talking to the media. He's like, hey, we have to play kind of gritty on the perimeter. Yeah. And that really carried us. And you're right. I did, during the game, I mentioned it. I think there was 4 shot clock violations in the first half, which is crazy. And then obviously, but we just grinded through all their actions, and their inside presence wasn't a scoring option for them. So we got to give them that a little bit. The reason why we could really hone in on their perimeter play, but our guys were flying around and switching all the actions and doing everything you have to do with a team that's kind of shorthanded. Yeah. Right now inside without Braden Huff. It's still going to be a topic of conversation because you still got to remember that was 18 points a game you're taking off the board, blah, blah, blah. So you have to win in other ways. I think the defense, Davis Fogel, Graham grinding his way to a 20-point game was a story, but we got to play better when we play Portland and St. Mary's, but I would not want to be a Portland Pilot on Wednesday night. And that's not trying to be bulletin board or anything like that, but I just think there's so much to play for us. League title, lost to them, senior night. It's like...
yeah, them taking away our perfect final season,
chance for a perfect season, right?
And because I had this whole this stat queued up where like we went over all the perfect seasons of the year, and then that was all ruined.
It's ruined.
And but I mean, as a fan, like I just want to see them. I just want to see us come out and just kind of take it to them.
Yeah, like blow them out.
Yeah, destroy them.
I think it's one of those like everybody, and it's like. You could be up by 25. We still want to hear like defense chants. You know what I mean? Those type of games. So yeah, it's gonna be a good week next week. We'll talk about the St. Mary's and Portland game. Hopefully they're 2 wins. And then we'll kind of start talking about WCC tournament, how that looks, where the seeding will go. Like kind of what's gonna happen if we play this team, what their Ken Palm is, what the rankings can look like. Right now, they have us as a 3 on the seed line.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about that once because we got to get through these other couple games. But I think we're probably going to stick in that area unless something crazy happens. Unless like the Iowa States or a team like that loses a couple, who's on the 2 line right now or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's still some things. But I think 3-4 is perfectly logical for us. And I think it's fair. But we still got a lot to talk about. Thank you for listening. Thank you to our sponsors, McGillivray Environmental, Idaho Central Credit Union, M4 CPA. See you next week.
Perfect.